Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Paul C. Messer, James County Jr., Penn Court. Julie Sianca, Mark Phillips, Montgomery County Public Defender's Office. Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. My name is Chris Rochester. I live in Rochester, New York. I've been in jail 6 times. 6 times a prosecutor in Todd Court. I've been in jail, Montgomery County Jail, Rochester, New York, Livingston County Jail, Geneseo. This is the Freedom of Information Law. It requires you, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, you Periodicals, you Mark Monahan, you Elizabeth Buckley, and you Michelle Crowley, District Attorney's Office, to disclose the names of my prosecutors. Because when I'm forced into a courtroom by psychopath cops like $83,000 Shannon Meyer, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, writing a warrant for my arrest for a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times, I have a prosecutor signed to that appearance. John P. Lemenzer Jr., Paul C. Metzer, Alex Renzi. It's a Freedom of Information Law. Dated this Sunday, November 26, 2023. Freedom of Information Law. Documentation of the case of Christopher Rochester in Perverted Court for John P. Lemenzer Jr. What is named the prosecutor, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. This is the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. The freaking prosecutor, the freaking sociopath who is a prosecutor that sent me to Montgomery County Jail, who I believe is Julie Hahn, who's now in Montgomery County Court, is right here. But I don't have certainty it's Julie Hahn. The reason why I don't have certainty is I don't know who this is. All I know is it's a female. Julie Hahn was in there with 17% of the vote, which she's defeated by 14 points. Who is it? Freedom of Information Law. November 26, 2023. Documentation of the case for Christopher Rochester in Perverted Court for Paul C. Metzer. What is the name of the prosecutor, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. The freaking sociopath who forced me into Paul C. Metzler, where he didn't utter one word, and I'm delivered to Livingston County Jail, Geneseo's right here. And what's the name of this freaking sociopath? I know what this boy looks like. I've seen his picture online. I do not know his name, because his name is not beneath his picture. And then on Facebook, there's a picture of you freaks and sociopaths at the District Attorney's Office. And I'm looking at this picture about 10 of you. And there's one individual there I think is this boy that sent me to Livingston County Jail, but I don't know. You know who knows? The District Attorney of Monroe County, whose freak prosecutor sent me to Livingston County Jail knows. Well, if he has been fired or left voluntarily, is right here. This is the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. So who will elevate me to the exalted one, who's in New York State Supreme Court with 25% of the vote, graduate of the illustrious Emory University School of Law in Atlanta, Georgia, where he had to go 1,000 miles away to get his JD, which I said to him, the New York State Supreme Court, Alex Renzi. Who elevated me to Alex Renzi? Forced me into Alex Renzi. It's a prosecutor signed to him. So, again, the Freedom of Information Law. This is the third of 4. There's only 4 on here. I don't have so much time today as I'm trying to move back to Albany. Who is it? Documentation of the case of Christopher Rochester, New York State Supreme Court for Alex Renzi. What is the name of the prosecutor, District Attorney Sandra Doorley? The freaking sociopath who forced me into Alex Renzi, which still has me here in Rochester, New York, and prevents me from moving back to Albany, New York, where I lived in the city for 5 years, in Albany County for 10 years, is right here. And who is it? You would have the same level of anger as I do. Freaks and sociopaths at the District Attorney's Office. If you were in jail 6 times, and there's not one single word spoken in court for you to be in jail. Is that the way it works? Do you think justice is the United States of America? Where the lie is on paper, and then the corrupt judge reads the lie on paper, and then sentences the defendant scale to jail. Because that's happened to me 6 times. So, here's this Benito Mussolini skinhead today. This is dated on November 20th, refused. November 20th. I sent it here. This is the post office, November 20th. Here he is again. I'm on Twitter where I'm using different handles. I'm Chris Rochester on Twitter, but I have different names. I posted this to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Twitter, where they can see my name where he wrote refused on it, because I'm demanding information from him, such as if he's in compliance with Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which governs sexual harassment. I don't use the phrase sexual harassment in the fall, but I've been using it now for 18 months. I say employment-related discrimination lawsuit. So here he is on this November 20th, this bald-headed, bleeding Muslim skinhead, Todd Baxter, doesn't know he's a Democrat or Republican, returning my mail to me. He knows the criminal complaints are in here, and that's why. The Monroe County Sheriff Office employees like Richard Seatman, who violently attacked me at the Penfield Public Library, Michael Houlihan, who lied under oath to your grand jury, director of the grand jury, Shell Crowley, and he said I swung a hammer on my back porch in Penfield, can do whatever they want. Does not matter to Todd Baxter that Richard Seatman's a violent freak who slammed his arm into my head and I fell backwards and my head hit the ceramic tile. Doesn't matter to Todd Baxter that Michael Houlihan lied under oath in a grand jury where I don't know the grand jury's convened, Shell Crowley. How's that explain when I pursued disbarment? And when I say things that you may think are extreme, I'm dead fucking serious. When I pursued disbarment, Shell Crowley, how do you answer the question that you didn't call me to your grand jury when Michael Houlihan lied under oath? Because it's impossible for me to swing a hammer at him when I ran the whole time, where he's chasing me up onto my back porch with $85,000 down Benedetto. So here he is. This is why he's corrupt. It's not the only time he's been afraid to open his mouth, which I expected him to do. What I don't expect is the public defender to be afraid to open her mouth. $140,000 Julie Sianka. You know the names of my prosecutors, Julie Sianka, if you're watching me now, because I'm on here at 6 minutes. Because in either a hard drive or a paper file, you could just tell me who it is and send it to the Gmail on the foil, challenges@gmail.com. Just like you, $87,000, just the public defender, Mark Phillips, who's also sending my mail back. I mean, there's about 100 documents in here, Mark. This is not cheap to do this. It all adds up. It's about $30 here for this envelope, given all the copies I made. For you to look at, Mark. You know why? $87,000, assistant public defender, Mark Phillips? Because you will have a greater understanding of these psychopaths at the sheriff's office if you would have read this. And it doesn't matter to you that they're psychopaths. There's something wrong with you, Mark. Because I went from having respect and admiration for you to thinking you're just as every bit as corrupt as the hacks and sociopaths in the district attorney's office. Are you auditioning for a job at the district attorney's office? And I'm not trying to be facetious because I think you are. What is my prosecutor's $87,000, Mark Phillips? Package hired Jansen McNair. In the envelope that Todd Baxter refused to open, and the previous ones, I want to know if he called the county executive Adam Bello to get this hack a job, where he's now a double dipper, just like bald-headed Pino Mussolini skinhead Todd Baxter. This is the corruption of Monroe County. Double dipper Jansen McNair. He got his 20, he's at this job here. Double dipper Todd Baxter. Spent their whole pathetic, miserable lives being paid by the taxpayers. Speaking of money, you know what justice is about? It's only 20 there. Justice is about money. If I had money, if I was comfortable, not wealthy, but comfortable, I would have spent one goddamn day in jail. Every now and again, you get to be part of justice being done, and that's really quite a thrill when it happens. Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Of all the beautiful films like Philadelphia, and all the incredible books like In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, which I have read, it all comes down to money, every single time. And if I had money, not one day in jail. I wouldn't have to rely on a public defender. I could have had some type of Johnny Cochran superstar that could say anything to a jury, and a jury would believe it. But I've never even faced the jury. Jury's never seen my likeness. The grand jury I was called to doesn't know me. I could have sat right there, Michelle Qualley, question after question after question. What you doing to me? Pretrial Services Corporation, Jamie Belliard, I don't have a trial schedule. Why do I have to call Pretrial Services Corporation? It has an answer. And Jamie Belliard, you can disabuse me of this. I have to call this Pretrial Service Corporation and walk down there in St. Paul, meet with her, where she just signs a form for me. Because Alice Renzi is using this Pretrial Services Corporation. If I don't make a phone call or go see Jamie Belliard, I can be returned to jail. I believe this is unconstitutional. Language has precision and meaning and definition. Pretrial Service Corporation, I don't have a trial. I have to go to this bureaucracy to check in with her, which I said to Alice Renzi when I was in New York State Supreme Court. Release under supervision guidelines. Release under supervision, where a prosecutor's never talked in court for me. Do you understand what I just said? Perry Ducks and Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley. Released under supervision where prosecutors never talked. And who is it? So, the criminal complaints that you have in your office, none of these people are going to be arrested. You'll concoct crimes for me. Well, it's impossible for the psychopath assistant district attorney to make an argument I committed a crime. And then you will ignore real crimes that are right here. July 22nd, here. Attached to 4 court complaints with this language. Seated in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked into Pemberton Public Library in Pemberton, New York, ran Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, causing him to fall back as hit his head on the surrounding top floor. Neighbor shot, later Kumar shot, 2033 Pemberton Road, Pemberton, New York, 14526, falsely reported an incident of Christopher Chichester, formerly 26 Sandra Drive, was walking through the parking lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Sparrow, Fairport North, locked the front and back door of his residence at 26 Sandra Drive in Pemberton, New York, without a court order. 4. Laura Rod Webster, New York, transported the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester, 26 Sandra Drive in Pemberton, New York, to storage locker Webster, New York, without a court order. These are crimes. Each individual will not be arrested or prosecuted. There was a 1 day in jail served for these crimes that destroyed my life because you're incapable of identifying a crime. You concoct crimes from innocent citizens. You hate the human condition. There's 2 links here. Rejection, July 22nd. I'm telling you, disclose the names of my prosecutors. 3 months ago. 113-918-42 Perry Duckles, 112-508-75 Mark Monahan, unconstitutional. I call this unconstitutional because I believe it's unconstitutional for Paul C. Messer to convene Pemberton Town Court to send me to Livingston County Jail in Geneseo when, 1, the district attorney's office is not present that day. There's nobody there for the district attorney's office. And 2, I meet my public defender right after Richard J. Seaton slams his arm into my head. I fall backwards. My head hits the ceramic tile of the library floor. He frog marches me out of the library, and there she is. So that means that you, $140,000 Julie Siakam, public defender of Monroe County, know I'm supposed to be in court, but I don't. And this is the window dressing for this bald-headed $28,000 widow, Paul C. Messer, so she could say I had counsel. I'm meeting my public defender right before Paul C. Messer in 2 minutes is going to declare me guilty of some ridiculous fabrication so she can send me to jail in a county I don't live in Geneseo, New York. I believe that's unconstitutional. So, these are crimes here. Those are the 4 criminal complaints I wrote. This is 50 on here from this freak Michael Houlihan. He's involved in the death of a human being of which the state attorney general had to investigate him. And Todd Baxter doesn't take his weapon from him. Todd Baxter doesn't put him on restricted duty. And this freak $73,000 Michael Houlihan walks onto the private property of my 80-year-old neighbor and hides. And this is what he does. And on this night, he doesn't know it yet. $73,000 Michael Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, is going to become a perjurer. Tax criminal complaint for perjury. 73312 Michael C. Houlihan of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. That's 73312 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked onto the private property crossing the residence 26 Sands from Drive in Pemberton, New York, Christopher Chichester. That Houlihan ran at Chichester at approximately 1 a.m. with $85,000 down Benedetto of the Sheriff's Office. That Chichester ran away from Houlihan and Benedetto, unaware of the identities. That Chichester grabbed a hammer alongside the residence next to his bike, used to fix the bike's tire. That as Chichester placed his foot on the first of 3 steps on the back porch, Houlihan grabbed his arm. The hammer in Chichester's hand is forced upwards, and Chichester ran across his back porch through the sliding glass door. And as Chichester never stopped running, it is impossible to swing the hammer at 73312 Michael Houlihan. This is as clear as can possibly be in this language I just wrote, directed to the grand jury, Michelle Crowley. And I would have said this to the grand jury. Not in this exact words, because I wrote this down. But this is what I would have communicated to these 18 to 24 anonymous idiots. How did you pick these grand jurors, Michelle Crowley? Because Michelle Crowley, when I say you have a case, I have a case that you can be disbarred. Language requires precision. I'm not on here using language to be hysterical. This is August 25th. This is why this act is corrupt, Michelle Crowley. Right here. Information about the grand jury convened by District Attorney Sandra Doorley, 2 target Christopher Chichester as 1. The day, month, and year the grand jury is convened. 2, the assigned District Attorney's Office employee to address the grand jury. 3, the witnesses that testified to the grand jury. 4, the voting grand jurors. 5, the transcript of the grand jury proceeding. Is there a transcript or not, Michelle Crowley? Is there a transcript or not, Perry Duckles? Is there a transcript or not, Mark Monahan? And is there a transcript or not, Elizabeth Buckley? And here it is right here. Well, I'm telling you, freaks and sociopaths, that revolting shack at 47 South Fitzhugh, to tell me how this grand jury was assembled. You can indict a ham sandwich. It's so famous, Tom Wolfe used it in his book, The Bonfire of Vanities. You can indict a ham sandwich, where Tom Hanks stars. I'm your ham sandwich this day, Michelle Crowley, when Michael Houlihan purges himself. But it doesn't matter to you. Did you call Michael Houlihan and Don Benedetto before you convened the grand jury into your office, Michelle Crowley, to talk to them? Because you had to have some type of communication with these two psychopaths that are not there in the head before you convene the grand jury. Did you see the body camera footage of me running away from $85,000 Don Benedetto and $73,000 Michael Houlihan that took 30 seconds? As I ran the whole time, I cannot swing a hammer at Michael Houlihan. And I only grabbed the hammer next to my bike because I really did not know what to do. That's why. And when Houlihan grabbed my arm, the hammer goes up like this on my back porch. I run through the sliding glass door. The only way I could swing a hammer at this lying cop freak purge of Michael Houlihan, director of the grand jury, Michelle Crowley, is if I stopped and pitted it on my foot. Well, this is irrelevant to you. Just like it's irrelevant to District Attorney Sandra Doorley on this day, that is August 25th, where the Freedom of Information Law documents that I just read about the prosecutors of silence are also enclosed for her to send to me, which I'm looking for right now, because I have these same prosecutors right here. So what I just read, the foil I just read on this day, I sent to her on August 25th, where it says, the documentation for the case of Christopher Chavez and the Pemberton Court for John P. Lanza Jr. was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. That's August 25th. August 25th, the documentation for the case of Christopher Chavez and the Pemberton Court for Paul C. Messer was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. That's August 25th. Again, Alex Renzi, August 25th, the documentation for the case of Christopher Chavez, the New York State Supreme Court for Alex Renzi was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. There's other ones in here too on this day. This is why she's corrupt. You do not know your boss is corrupt. You will never know that the district attorney of Monroe County is corrupt. This is other information I'm demanding from this freaking sociopath at the district attorney's office. And what I'm demanding from him, I'm not asking, is if you've used taxpayer dollars to settle a sexual harassment lawsuit, which I don't call sexual harassment, that's too limiting. So the first one is going to be Todd Baxter. I didn't write this today, but this is in the district attorney's office, and this is why she's corrupt. Cost of taxpayers, Montgomery Sheriff has expended Todd Baxter has expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, federal club, Title VII, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This is the flaw for her. Is there sexual harassment at the district attorney's office or not? You could know if there's sexual harassment just because it exists and there has not been an expenditure of taxpayer dollars to settle a lawsuit. Or there is an expenditure of taxpayer dollars to settle a lawsuit. That's what I'm attempting to discover. Freedom of Information Law, August 25th. The cost of taxpayers, Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Doorley has expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits, fail to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. She's going to refuse to comply every single time because she's corrupt. That's why. You don't know your boss at the district attorney's office. District Attorney Sandra Doorley is corrupt. Jamie Belliard, I have a trial scheduled at Pretrial Service Corporation. You understand what I'm talking about? About the precision of language, Jamie Belliard. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Perry Duckles, Mark Ryan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley. Pretrial Service Corporation, no trial for me. Alex Renzi is using this corporation, this bureaucracy. I don't even think it's supported by tax dollars, so I'm going to return me to jail. He's corrupt, that's why. This $210,000 fossil, Alex Renzi's corrupt. So, now, on August 1st, I communicated with you, Perry Douglas, and you, public defender, Judy Sianca. And this has arrived at the district attorney's office, where it says right here, August 10th. No, August 1st, and I printed it on August 10th. Deputy District Attorney Perry Douglas. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's 1,000+ words. But on here is Mark Phillips. I changed this email. I only use it once because I believe if I only use an email once, I can't be blocked. But on here, Perry Douglas, Michelle Crowd, Elizabeth Buckley, Mark Byron, all four of those names, you know, my prosecutor silence. Mark Phillips is on here, and Julie Siak is on here. And then it says right here, mail the names of my prosecutor silence, the address or email list below. Goes on from there. So that's addressed to you, Perry Douglas, on that August 1st. And then for $140,000 Julie Siak, I contact Sabrina Lamar, the Monroe County Legislature. I'm going to send her this, public defender Julie Siak. I'm going to say to her that I'm demanding from you over and over and over, you disclose the names on prosecutor silence. I'm going to send her this, what I wrote to you, Julie Siak, on this August 1st. And I'm going to send her copies of these envelopes that you were returning to me as the public defender in Monroe County. So here's your name, Julie Siak, right here. Well, you're returning this to me. I'm telling you, Julie Siak, right here, to tell me the names of my prosecutor silence, this information you have. When I send this to Sabrina Lamar, what's your response? How do you possibly respond to something like that? Where it says right here, I've been in jail 6 times. 6 times a sociopath, fanatic, and freak at the district attorney's office, did not talk in court. When I appear in these disgusting star chambers as an innocent man, I have a prosecutor silence to that appearance. I have prosecutor silence before. Pemberton Court Judge John P. Metzer Jr., Pemberton Court Judge Paul C. Metzer, New York State Supreme Court Judge Alex Renzi. What are the names of my prosecutor silence? See how simple that is? The simplicity of that question, public defender Julie Siak for $140,000. What are the names of my prosecutors? It is insane for a public defender anywhere in the United States of America to refuse to tell a defendant in the courtroom the name of a prosecutor, especially a prosecutor that sends a defendant to jail. The assistant district attorney signed every single one of my court appearances because every single criminal charge for me is a lie, a concoction, a fabrication. She just dismissed it in court. But I'm not unknown. That's why. The assistant district attorney who's doing this to me, whose names I don't know exactly my identity because I read all your salaries on YouTube and I've done other things to you. Before even the first time I was in Monroe County Jail, I was doing things to you. So, Todd Baxter. I use the phrase surveillance device, then you freaks and sociopaths at the sheriff's office are calling Lindsay Bound, the Monroe County Office of Mental Health, to come to my residence when you don't know what I have in my hand. You, Michael Radley, you, Scott Alberti, you, Kathy Miller, you, William Tadeo, don't know what I have right here. You don't know about this. Now, I've held this up and read this before and sent this to the sheriff's office. But this is what you don't know when you're calling this mental health bureaucrat on me. And what you do know is that a citizen who thinks he or she is under surveillance by the government is mentally ill. I don't think I'm under surveillance by the government. Do you understand what I just said, freaks and sociopaths, the sheriff's office, those names? I've never thought I'm being surveilled by government agents or bureaucrats. And because you use the phrase surveillance device in your language doesn't mean or indicate that you believe you're being surveilled by government bureaucrats or agents. For your information, on January 16, 2023, Todd Baxter, Sheriff 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14604. This photograph's why you're a fanatic. This photograph's why you're an extremist. This photograph's why you're a liar. This photograph's why the no name was $67,000 disgusting act Shannon. This photograph is why people hate the police. Copy to Trinity Ross, Paul C. Metzer, James Fonley Jr., Mark Phillips, Casino R. Perry Douglas, Mark Radley. This is the high resolution color photo. You go look at 2025 Penfield Road for a business called Consumer Insights, where Elliot Wall's the president. That's right here. Regina Harper, the assistant public defender, I don't think it's still at the public defender's office, mailed it to me. Elliot Roth, you copied on here at Consumer Insights. Your business at 2025 Penfield Road. Elliot Roth, president of Consumer Insights, 2025 Penfield Road. Is this private technology for your business, for the security of your business, or these psychopaths at the sheriff's office come and fix it for me? Elliot Roth, what's the answer? You can return your mail to me, which you have done. Elliot Roth, because you're a private citizen, and that's the way it is. This is not a private citizen returning his mail to me. It's Mark Phillips. This is not a private citizen returning her mail to me, which is Julie Siak, $140,000 public defender. This is not a private citizen returning his mail to me just 2 days ago when he's afraid to open his mail for me, Sheriff of Monroe County. This is not a private citizen right here, patronage hired Jansen McNair, this loser here at the Office of Public Integrity, that I'm confident you, Todd, Baxter, call County Executive Adam Bello and set him up as a double dipper just like you. Office of Public Integrity? In the city of Albany, there's no such thing like this. You know why? Because even though Albany, which was led by Mayor Renzi from 1941 to 1983, has parts of it that are corrupt, the mayors and the other public officials in Albany are smart enough not to do something that is so ridiculous and absurd and obvious as a patronage hire. Patronage is done in the city of Albany and know how to do it where they keep it under wraps. He's right out in the open, this double dipper, Jansen McNair. Because you want him to be right out in the open, Todd Baxter. Did you call Adam Bello about Jansen McNair or not? I'm going to contact Adam Bello's office. I have not contacted Adam Bello. And everything I'm showing here, I'm going to send to him. So, that's why people hate the police. This freak Shannon Meyer. I hate this Shannon Meyer with such intensity. This $83,000 freak at the sheriff's office. If hell is 5,000 degrees for this freak, that's not hot enough for her. This is the parking lot next to where I used to live in Penfield. 4,000 times I walked through this parking lot. I moved here in 2012 with my then girlfriend, Laura Rowland. She's hired at the Penfield Public Library, where I don't know, down the hallway from the entrance that I would go into to see her is Penfield Town Court. I do not know Penfield Town Court is down the hallway from the entrance to the library, even though my girlfriend I live with works at the library. So I'm coming through this parking lot here, and this is what's going to land me in a courtroom for the first time in my life as a defendant, where it's not a speeding ticket. 4,000 times I've walked through this parking lot. Laura and I used to walk through this parking lot to go to Wegmans. Elliot Roth is out here. He says to me, "You're going to be arrested." With this cruiser smile, I walk by him. I go to Goldstream and Fairport. I come back home. One day I'm walking through the parking lot. Nayraj Shah starts to scream at me like a psychopath. This 50-year-old mother's boy lives with a 70-year-old mother. I say, "What's the problem?" I have this conversation with Shah. And this is how Shannon Meyer uses a civilian to get me to come out of the house. She calls Steve Devlin a broad culture tree and lawn care. She says, "Ride your tractor by his residence, Chris Chichester, and get him to come out of the house. And if he does, I'm going to be there with 6 other sheriff office employees to arrest him." This is what she's saying or thinking in her diseased brain, this cop from hell, Shannon Meyer. Since I had this confrontation with this Nayraj Shah and these weed-whacking, grass-cutting losers from Broad Tree and Lawn Care are coming to my residence whenever they want, now the sheriff's office is going to set me up for a crime where I haven't committed a crime. Because Meyer tells us Steve Desmond is this Broad Tree and Lawn Care racket, rides your tractor by his residence. He comes out of the house. We're going to be able to arrest him. But I come outside, stand right here. I say, "Nobody owns that land." I walk back on our residence. Do you think that's a crime? Perry Duckles, Elizabeth Buckley, Mark Monahan, Michelle Crowd, the District Attorney's Office? I'll tell you the answer. That's not a crime. This is why people hate the police. For me to walk outside, stand right here, say, "Nobody owns that land," walk back on our residence, that's not a crime. I spoke to Timothy Murphy, the Monroe County Office of Real Property Tax Service. He can't confirm anything. He cannot confirm that there's any land ownership right here. And even if there is, by some miracle, land ownership established by documentation, it's not a crime to say nobody owns that land right here and walk back on my residence. And this is not documentation that proves that there's land ownership. You understand me, freaks and sociopaths? When I bought my house in the Albany, New York suburb of Guilderland, I was given a document that had a notarization or a seal or some type of marker that proves I own the land next to my residence at 4060 Georgetown Square in Guilderland, New York. This is nothing. This doesn't prove that this land here has ownership. Well, you failed to understand, you freaks and sociopaths. Just like you failed to understand that this is insanity right here. Right here, what I'm pointing out. Sanity. Todd Baxter taking pictures of employees underwater in a pool. A joke, a disgrace, and an abomination. I don't care. It's a private event. I demand from this Benito Mussolini skinhead stooge, Todd Baxter, if this is taxpayer dollars or these are Monroe County Sheriff Office employees underwater in the pool with the American flag in the background, and his response to me is, "It's a private event." Thomas P. DiNapoli can force an answer from you if you expended taxpayer dollars from this. If, in fact, he audits you. How many times I've demanded the freedom of information law from you? I lived in a loft next to the transit center with this violence crashing down on Monroe County. That's what Shannon Meyer is doing. When there's violence at the transit center, this is the loft. Shannon Meyer's writing a warrant for my arrest for a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times. The reason why I cite this, loft here on this transit center. This is the Freedom of Information Law right here. It's over 1,000 documents you're refusing to comply with over and over and over. I have this documentation on this couch in this transit center loft because everything that happened to me began to happen because of this freak cop, $83,000 Shannon Meyer of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that Todd Baxter gave a $16,000 raise to. That's why this documentation is on this couch here. Every single one of these is a Freedom of Information Law because it's free cop. Because it is free cop, it's a different way. I would collate documents because I had to figure out what I had. This is the same loft. Over and over and over, I'm using the floor. Right here alone, it could be 100 different times I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors, District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, District Attorney's Office. Come on, my residence, demand my dog. Later, Kumar Shah and Nairaj Shah believe at 2033 Pempy Road that the psychopath cop should come to the home of an innocent citizen and demand his dog. Talk about that repeatedly. I don't have no clothes because of you, Todd Baxter, you, Sandra Doorley, and you, Alex Renzi, you, Paul C. Messer. That's why it says I don't have any clothes. Because Antonino Spano locked the front door, locked me out. Everything I own is gone. Every single thing I own in life is gone because this 80-year-old man, including my dress screens from 17 Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division, everything is gone, including my BA from the State University of New York at Stony Brook, my DD-214, my Army Commendation Medal, my Army Achievement Medal, my Air Assault Badge, I'm a 10-day graduate of the United States Army Air Assault School. Every single thing I own is gone because it's all mad. And you freaks and sociopaths at the sheriff's office are not going to arrest him. He's certainly not going to be prosecuted. He's not going to be 1 day in jail for this old man breaking the law and locking me out of my residence without a court order. My ex-girlfriend taking everything I own to a storage locker without a court order. Both of them require court orders. This just arrived at the district attorney's office right here. The Freedom of Information Law. This is dated November 20th. Do you understand me? This is going to come back to me. I'm going to come back here on YouTube. I'm going to hold this up when Todd Baxter sends this envelope back to me. In here, on this November 20, 2023, is the Freedom of Information Law. Again, I'm telling you, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, disclose the names of my prosecutors in silence. It just doesn't matter, you freaks and sociopaths. At all. Deputy District Attorney Perry Douglas of Monroe County. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been in jail 6 times, and 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. What are the names of my prosecutors, Perry Douglas? My content. Perry Douglas. Do you understand what I just said? What are the names of my prosecutors? What's the problem? This TikTok app, identify my prosecutor's house. I'm sitting in this loft at Transit Center. So, to do on January 1, 2023. I demanded of you here, right, that you disclose and answer my prosecutor's silence. Why did you refuse, Perry Douglas? The answer is that you're corrupt. Everything I'm going to say here to you, I've said to Julie Sion of the Monroe County Public Defender's Office. This is why the Monroe County Public Defender's Office is corrupt. They refuse to disclose the names of our prosecutors as well. Mark Phillips of the Public Defender's Office, Regina Harper of the Public Defender's Office, sent my mail back to me and refused to open it because each knows I'm demanding of them what I'm demanding of you right now, Perry Douglas. How is any citizen in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk? How is any citizen in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? That's what I said. How? Does not matter to freaks and sociopaths at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, at all. Payroll for the district attorney's office. Who is it? Tell me who it is, and you're going to refuse every single time to disclose the names of these freaks and sociopaths to me. I had to write the New York State Department to get a copy of my birth certificate because I don't have a copy of my birth certificate. Jamie Belliard, Pretrial Services Corporation. Why do I have to call Pretrial Services Corporation, Jamie Belliard? Ridiculous lunatic French. So, disclose the names of my prosecutor's silence. You will continue to refuse disclose the names of taxpayer-supported public employees in a courtroom at the district attorney's office that have delivered me to jail 6 times because you're corrupt. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been an innocent man my whole life.